Welcome to the Healthcare Business Secrets Show, where we interview industry leaders and break down exactly how they're dominating their markets so you can learn from the best and you can double your revenue, double your impact, and double your time off. In this episode, we're talking with Kitty Blomfield. Kitty is the co-founder of New Strength and Win at Life program. She teaches women how to break free from restrictive diets so they can balance their hormones, restore their metabolisms, and build bodies they love. She had dieted for 17 years of her life, but she always felt bloated and barely slept at night, but it all changed when she started researching and meeting mentors. She then went on to build her own business to help others to also make it happen. She's helped thousands of women become the happiest, healthiest, and strongest versions of themselves. And unlike other programs where they simply tell you what to do, she educates and empowers her patients through her unique 5-step framework. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
So I kind of wanted to just jump into why I got you on the show. You're doing ridiculously well in your business. You're growing fast, and you're hitting some of those pain points that a lot of us do, where we're trying to go beyond just being the practitioner or the technician and actually build a business. And we were talking about that a bit before the show. So you were telling me how you're reaching these goals, but it was kind of like this glass ceiling, and you had to break through that and change what you're doing to allow you to get to the next revenue point and the next point where you can help more people. So tell me and tell the audience a bit more about that. What was it that made you be able to go to the next level in your business?
Well, I think we've worked with a lot of really good business coaches, and when because we opened a gym initially and worked in that for 3 years and developed our methodology and grew that. And then we decided, we sort of came to this point where we're like, okay, do we open more gyms or do we go online? And we decided to develop this program for women, specifically targeted for women like me who'd done a lot of restrictive diets, doing all the cardio, having all the issues that I had. So we signed up with this guy, Lynn Trin, who's a friend of ours now. We've known him for 3 years. And we were like you, we experienced really good success really quickly. So we scaled our online business from like 0 to 100K months in 11 months. And that model was basically through, we'd run like a front end, 5-day free challenge. And then we'd book people in for calls, for sales calls, like consults. And then we'd sell into the program. And that sort of took us from really 0 to right up to turning over just under $2 million a year. But we just found, because really for a long time too, it was just myself and Craig. So Craig is my partner as well in life, partner and business. And so he looks after all the sort of training side and I did all the marketing. So it was just really us. And then we had our coaches that worked for us so that helped with the delivery of the programs. And we sort of got to this point where we were just doing well, but we were just really burnt out. We were really tired and we were getting so frustrated and we sort of hit, multi-7-figure turnover and we're like, we just can't grow anymore because with that marketing model, you can only get, so far and it's not really scalable. And Craig and I are, I'm just trying to think how to articulate it, coaches, real coaches at heart. We've never run businesses, I've worked for bigger companies, but not in, high level management roles. And there was a lady who worked in our business. She's our ops manager now, Vic, and she'd worked really high up in big multinational companies like oil and gas companies in high level HR roles doing project management. And she had 2 kids and was doing our program as a client. And she decided that she didn't want to go back after her maternity leave because she had to travel and go to Melbourne. And we just saw an opportunity, she really loved, she loved obviously the program because she was in it. And she had a really unique skill set that Craig and I didn't have. So we offered a job. She's come on board. And she really, I think, we had to really shift our perspective. She came in and was like, you really need to do this and you need to do this. You need to strip things back and you're over delivering and you're, it was quite hard because we're very purist, everyone needs coaching and it needs to be so hands-on. And, I think what I've realized over the years now is that I can't force people to do things. I can give them the tools and the coaching and then really it's up to them whether or not they do it. So she was really helpful from that perspective, coming in and going, and we just completely restructured our business, and we made people redundant. And then we decided, look, we can't get any further using this model that we were using.
Yeah.
So we actually, when COVID hit, it was probably good for us because it forced us to go, we're not doing sales calls anymore. We're following more of a, I guess maybe it's like Russell Brunson type marketing model, where you have the low end programs. So we just went 1 month. Okay. We did a massive restructure. And we just built out this low end program, and we're like, we're committing to this. And we just went all in, and it's taken us 6 months to really, build that up and build out the program and, work on that sort of marketing schedule. And we had to get better at marketing, better at writing copy and ads and everything. But since then it's been amazing. We've had no sales calls. We refined all of our onboarding and just which has been Vic helping us, really just helping us pull things back and make it more simple. I think coaches, like when you're a coach, and maybe your people experience the same thing, is that I think I just want to give everyone so much information and it's too overwhelming for most people. It's good having you there because you constantly remind me, Kitty, everyone's not like you. They don't do everything 110%. They need to be drip fed little bits of information. Let's keep it more simple. And that's really helped us. And then from there, we developed this skincare and supplements company with the nutritionist who's a friend of ours who introduced us to this way of eating and Ray Peat's work. So our nutrition approach is based on the work of Dr. Ray Peat. And it's called Saturate. So we're just formulating the skincare. Hopefully we should release it in the next 3 months, I'm hoping. Just with COVID, it's been annoying sourcing packaging. But selling a range of metabolically supported pure supplements. So this month, I think, and we only started selling 7 months ago. We'll do our first 100K month this month, which is awesome. And then we're looking at some other opportunities with Vic to do things together. So, I think, I don't know, this is just me personally, is that you can obviously only get so far on your own. If you want to go far, go with many. And I think that you, us partnering with Emma and then having Vic coming in and partnering with her, it's really allowed Craig and I to, I don't know if these are the right words, but, you talk about operating in your zone of genius, people.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, we all get to do, I love putting myself out there and, talking about the program and, getting out on Instagram and doing podcasts and being the face, I do some coaching. Craig loves the coaching and program delivery and training and the nutrition, and Vic's really good at the operations and the marketing. So it's same thing with Emma, she's the real scientist. She loves the nitty gritty. She loves the formulation. So I think, I don't know, maybe if I could go back and talk to myself a year ago, I would have probably hired someone, hired Vic earlier.
Yeah.
But I think that you don't, I don't know, and you have to, it was a little bit hard for me to let go at the start. Had funny conversations with Vic where she's like, look, I just need to give you some feedback. You need to stop, just let me do my job. And, some weekends I'd come in and go, we're changing this. But I think it's just let people do their jobs, and you don't have to micromanage everything and think that, because I think also you fall back into what's comfortable and what you know.
Yeah.
And for so long I built funnels and I did this, and all of a sudden someone else is doing it and they're doing a really good job. So you're sort of what do I? Yeah.
What it ultimately comes down to, I think, is that understanding, literally, like you said, A, what got you here is not going to get you there. And B, if you want to go fast, as they say, you go alone. If you want to go further, you go with people. And the reason for that is it can't all be on you when you're trying to build something big. And if you're at the top, it's top heavy and it will fall over. And the biggest organizations in the world have teams and they have sub teams, and it's the group and the growth across the board, not just straight up through you. So what happens a lot for especially my audience is the health professionals at heart. So they love what they do. They're there to help people and they're there to change lives, which is what you're doing. And so when you're leading with that, that's what gets you to where you are. If you're too business orientated and you don't have the heart in it, you're not going to help people in the right way and build relationships that will slow you down. But equally, what gets us entrepreneurs and business owners moving forward is what will slow us down the most when we're trying to grow big, because we try and make it all about us. And so it's when you're able to begin outsourcing some of the tasks and freeing up your headspace to work on the things that, like you said, your genius, right? The things that you can do, or at least the things that are the most important for you to be doing right now. It gives you more space to do them better and to kind of stop being distracted. I found that myself. I'm growing and I'm doing everything, and then I'm doing all this busy work, which puts a ceiling above my head. So when I got rid of the busy work by just outsourcing the bottom stuff first and then the next level and the next level, it put me more in a position of focusing on only the stuff that I can do, like this, being in front of people and talking with people. I can't outsource that in the same way because people want to hear what I have to think, but I can get rid of the editing process and the uploading process and the sharing process. Because that's stuff that I can get almost anyone to do. And so when we're in a practice, we don't think about this, even with service delivery. Like, you will still have coaches in your program probably working with people because you've got so many of them. It doesn't have to be you, but you're still leading the way because you're creating the material and you're being the voice, so to speak. But you still have people to facilitate, because you don't need to be there answering every single tiny little question. That's what your training materials for. That's what your coaches are for. So you can be there for strategy. I think the application into healthcare with this is, obviously we need to systemize what we're doing, but you hit an interesting point where you get to scalability. So you were doing sales calls, which is basically where you're on the phone with someone for 45 minutes to an hour, understanding them, and then telling them what you think you can do to help them, and then pitching them a program. Health professionals were all doing that with our new patient visits. And then we're going and actually then doing the service delivery. So where my practice really started to take off was when I stopped being involved with clients so much, and I brought in associates to do the technical delivery. So I'm a chiropractor, so I went from adjusting everyone to having associates adjust people. And I was doing new clients to then training them and then giving them the new clients to do as well. And then I slowly phased myself out because I'm a better coach of my practitioners. I'm a better visionary for the business than I am being a practitioner if I'm wanting the business to grow. Like, I can be the best coach. You can be the best coach. I can be the best practitioner. But that heavily limits the growth of the business and therefore the impact of the business. And a lot of us forget that. If you just want to be the technician and do the work, then build a team around you that allows you to do the work, and they grow the business. If you want to grow the business, then grow the business and let go of the tools, because you can get someone else to do that. You can focus on your genius. What was the first? So I think you mentioned this. I apologize. What was the first hire you made? And would that be the same hire you made next time round if you were to do it all over?
Well, so obviously we had the gym before we had the online business. So we had coaches that we worked for us in the gym.
And you got them to do it for your program as well?
Yeah, so we basically ran a group training model. So clients would pay a set amount per week. They get 3 sessions, and they get nutrition with it as well. So we had PTs that worked for us, and like Jake, who worked for us in the gym, now works for us in our online business. So he was actually the first full-time coach that we hired in our business. Yeah. And if I was to go back, I'd still do the same thing. Because it was just Craig and I running the groups, and then we were like, okay, well, we want to grow it. We need to hire some coaches and train them. And he was 19, fresh PT, fresh people. He's really amazing, and he's been with us, since 4 years, I think he's been with us now. But then the first person we hired in our coaching online business was April, and she's still with us too. So we hired her permanent full-time, and I think within a month we'd made her full-time. Yeah. And I think that I would do that same thing again, because initially when we started coaching with Lynn, I outsourced all our marketing. So I got agencies to do it, and it just failed every time. Because they don't understand, the message. You need to learn to do it for yourself. And after about 5 times of me, fucking it up and doing that, Lynn's like, you just have to learn, Kitty. So I guess I stopped telling myself these stories that I couldn't learn Facebook ads and I couldn't build funnels. And I was just
you're preaching to the choir. Yeah. There's so many, everyone thinks that, oh, well, I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to outsource it because I guess they're good at it. And it's like, no, actually they're not. They know a mechanism and it's cookie cutter and they're going to apply it to your business. And then if it doesn't work, they move on until they have clients that it does work for. And if you're not one of those lucky clients that happen to work for, then you're just paying money for nothing, or you're just cycling through these companies. And I wanted to kind of touch on the fact that you hired a coaches first, then you hired operations managers, right? And now you're outsourcing some of the marketing things after, but you had to learn how to do it first.
You don't know, because when you're working with the agencies, if you don't understand, like now, when we actually got some people to help us, I could look at the ads and the metrics and know.
Yeah, whether they're just talking crap or not.
So, I think, like, I would recommend hiring, like, because we have a system, like we have a methodology. Craig, I remember the very first time I was training with Craig in the gym, like I would watch him train people, and I said to him, I've just noticed that you have this system. You have this system with clients with training, how you train them. Like I watch you and you take them all, you regress all the exercises and you do the same thing. This like progression system I called, and I said, let's pull that out of your head and turn it into a system and teach it to me, because I had to get like my PT certification. I just got my level 1 strength and conditioning, like ASCA, so I could get the insurance. And then so I could train people. And then we turned that into a system. And, we've turned that into a system for Win at Life. And all of our coaches have all been clients and now they're coaches. So they've gone through it themselves. They've had their own transformations. They've lived it. They've breathed it. And they understand methodology, and now they coach the women. And we're still in there, and Craig's still in there every day because he loves coaching. He loves being the technician. But I think, like I would always hire coaches, like systemize that, teach it to someone else, and then oversee it, and then learn marketing. Like you just have to learn it.
When we're getting clients to grow their practices, everyone wants to build all these systems first and hire operations managers and practice managers, and then they bring in associates. And what ends up happening is it becomes top heavy again. You've got all these processes, these redundancies that are solving problems that don't really matter or don't exist. And so you have to have a method, but hiring the coach, hiring the practitioner to serve the clients and then growing it from that end gives you this positive pressure forwards. And then as problems start to arise, you systemize further until you have someone take over. And so I like what you said there, because that's my philosophy as well, is it's like we have to grow, and often you can make all these systems and procedures too far beyond where you're actually at, and it slows things down. I've got clients that are working on problems that don't exist and are not going to exist for them. Like one of them was wanting to launch an online program, and I teach people how to do that. And they said, well, it's going to be an issue because if I've got 100 people and blah blah blah, how much? I said, look, you've got no clients, so it's not a problem right now. Let's focus on the problem that is there. And then when that becomes a problem, it's a good problem to have. And so we can solve it then. Whereas too often we try and make this perfect ship. And it's like sometimes it has to be a bit leaky. And so the best hire is typically always going to be outsource the thing that can be repeated, and the thing that's going to move the boat forward, which is, in your case, a coach, because now you can have more clients. And health practitioners. We too many, like put too much, it was too heavy with systems and processes, and like that was what our ops manager helped us with, just really like cutting shit back and making it more simple. Because I think we were, why can't women do it? Like, why can't we get more people through and get them to like get the result? But what we realized is it didn't matter how many follow-ups, how much stuff we put in, people were going to do it or they weren't going to do it. Yeah.
We could hound them till like forever and ever and ever, but it wasn't going to make them do it.
No.
I find it hard, like, because I just want everyone to succeed. And I think in a way too, it's like it's my ego as well. Like I feel like it's a reflection of me in the program if women don't get the result. And I'm like, no, Kitty, you need to realize that they're responsible for their own results. Yeah.
You're a facilitator.
Yeah.
You can't make someone, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make a drink is ridiculously true, especially in healthcare.
Yeah. True. Like, I'll admit it. I'm better, but yeah.
It's because we're hungry, right? We know what it takes to be successful. So it's like, why can't you do it too? And there's many reasons why they can't. And sometimes it's hard, but I think that the that I think that's applicable, especially to healthcare, is our job is to provide the best process in place to facilitate that person getting outcomes and give them every opportunity to get outcomes, but to not get caught up in trying to do it for them, or being so emotionally invested in them getting the outcome that it starts to affect us, because then it affects our ability to reach others. And when you're trying to expand, you're having to also realize, which what you talked about as well, is like, I might be able to do it the best and I love doing it, but if it's only me doing it, then that limits my capacity to serve others. So I'm going to have to accept someone in, like an associate, for example, or a coach who's not quite as good, but it allows me to have more reach. And so you can then layer on systems to make it better, but if you can't still take away the fact that that client still has to follow through themselves. And if you make it too big, it ends up limiting other people's results as well, because it's gone from just facilitating to overwhelming and pushing them.
I think also it's accepting that, like, you know, not everyone, like, success is different for everyone. So like if someone comes into my program and they say implement 30% and they're happy with that, that's good. Like they've still made improvements. It's not, I had to really accept that not everyone's like me. They don't come in and do everything 110%, and it's like, and that's okay, because it doesn't matter how long it takes them, you know, and they may only implement, you know, however much of the program, but it's still good and it's still better, still making improvements, and just being okay with that. Yeah.
We like to set a minimum benchmark for what we do with our clients and the expectations that we'd have around results. So we like to say, okay, if we did this, for what portion of the population in our clinic would get results and to what degree, and then we set ourselves towards that. When we pushed too hard for perfection, it ended up isolating people away, and it also stressed us out. But if we set too low, we ended up letting in clients who could get away with not doing much, and which then when they didn't get results because they liked the idea of just, you know, flicking a switch, taking a pill, and then I look a certain way, or, you know, whatever. And it's like, that's not realistic. That it started to come back on us because we felt bad because the proportion of clients who weren't getting the happy medium results got lower because we let in too many people who were never going to get there because we were just trying to help everyone. And so we found that by sitting in the middle and having a kind of a semi-hard line, like, hey, you got to be past this point, but we're not going to push you this far, meant that people still got outcomes, but we didn't then get as emotionally enrolled in all these people not getting results, because it was like we just let the bar too low. And it comes to marketing as well. Like when you have the right protocols and systems like you do, when you have the right drive and you're going forward with a purpose, you can start to align these things. And so when you're marketing, you're drawing in the right kind of people, because where a lot of people struggle as well, especially with agencies, and why it doesn't work, is because an agency is measuring a different thing than you are to what's success. They just go, oh, well, we got 50,000 clicks. And you're like, that's great, but I made no money. Or it's like, I got all these leads, but none of them became clients. So making sure that we know where we're headed means that we know what's going to get us there and what we need to do to get there. And a big part of that is learning some stuff, learning marketing, so that you can control the narrative, knowing what you're trying to achieve so you can hire the right person to be on your bus with you and head in the right direction. Otherwise, we can just end up hiring dickheads who stress us out. And that's all too common. Yeah. So what's been a big influence on you? Like, who are you reading or listening to at the moment that's giving you insights and helping you continue to move forward?
Well, I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. This is personally how I like to do things. Is I like to find a coach and just go all in with them. And it's always what I've done. And I believe it served me well, because I think, like, you know, I feel like a lot of people will get, like, they'll see one person, but they'll be reading this and reading that. And it's like, they're never actually really going all in on one thing and giving it a chance to work. So we worked with Lynn for a long time, and he's amazing, and he's now a friend of ours. And I still am in his coaching group. But for the last since February, we've been working with the Boss Babes. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're these two American. Yeah. So I just had been following them for a while and liked their model and thought, well, this is what we want to move towards. So we've already worked for 6 months, and we committed for we paid up front 12 months. Cause I'm like, you got to go all in. Like, why? Yeah. So we've just been working with them, and it's been amazing. Myself and Vic have learnt heaps. We're upgrading our brand. We've had we're getting all this rebranding done with these photo shoots, and just, I'm like, if we want to grow to that next level, like if we want to go to 8 figures, we have to up level our brand, and that's been really exciting too. But I just work with them. I just listen to them. That's all, because
There's a trend of the caliber of people that I bring on the show, and also the clients of mine that get the most success, and all the people that I talk to. And it is consistently, I have a coach who's leading me in a direction. And the reason for that is, to be the best in the world at something, you have to have strategies. Yes, you have to have insights, but you have to have someone who can see the forest that you can't, because you're in it. You have to have someone who can guide you on yourself, and to give you a direction. So when you have a path, you then just implement on it. People who are unsuccessful try and learn things for free. They try and learn things cheap. They're not willing to invest in stuff, and they don't take action.
Yeah. You've got to pay. Like, we paid these women like a lot of money. Yeah. But to me, like, I'm thinking about this like 10 years down the track. Like, this is about start with this solid foundation. It's like, do you want to, like, how big do you want to grow it? How far do you want to go? It's like, if you want to play small, then don't invest in a coach. And, because like you say, money's money. Like, I don't really care about having a fancy car. Like, we live in a great place in the Gold Coast, right near the beach. I have everything that I want. Like, it's not about like I need to have millions and millions and millions of dollars in the bank. I just want to keep learning and growing and helping women, and providing opportunities for our team and our coaches, and for all of us to like live these amazing lives where because I think one of the great things about our coaches is they believe in our vision as much as we do. Like, they're really committed, like they're really, really amazing. And, I want to help them grow and help them make more money, and, like all of us. Yeah. Because I think that this is just me, like if you have a purpose, like if you get up every day and you love what you do, it just, I think, makes your life so much better. And
you can't have success without it. Like, you can't just be winging it the whole time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there needs to be, you need to be, if you're not led from the heart and have a purpose and you're going after something, it gets very easy to wake up and go, I'm not going to get out of bed today. Or at night, late at night, like, I'm just going to watch some Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, to launch my company, I hustled. I was up at 4 a.m. every day. I was going to bed late at night. I had a brand new baby as well. I was still running a clinic. I had everything going on, but I wanted it, and I knew why I was doing it, and there was a purpose for me. So I just went after it, and I got coaches, and I learned from someone to get to the next point. And everything is about a stepping stone. It's not about I'm investing everything here and then that's it. It's like, how do I get access to the people who can give me the insights that'll get me further and get me there easier and faster? And there's no point in reinventing the wheel. So I'll go, they got a good plan. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get out of it what I can. And then I'm going to go to the next one, but I'm not jumping between them. There's a big difference. It's not like sidestepping. It's going in and going forward and then adding someone, or moving to the side and then going forward again. And most people get that wrong. They're like, I got to get all this information. And so the classic kind of loser strategy, a bit rough, but you know what I mean, is like, I'm going to read 50 million books and watch all these videos and learn all this stuff, but I'm never going to pay anyone anything because I can just figure it out on my own. It's like, yeah, you can try, but it sucks. You're better off just following a path. 100%. And being pushed. Yeah.
Any successful person has a coach.
Like, 100%.
And I don't like to do it alone. I don't like it. It's so much better now that like we partner with all these different people, and we've got this. It's exciting. Like, every day you get up and
there's energy. There's an energy exchange, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, what's more money? I mean, yes, obviously we're trying to build our business and earn more money, but like, the more money we have, what are we going to buy? A bigger house, a better car? Like it's not going to make my life so much better. I think there's obviously a point where you can earn enough money and then you're happy and you've got everything you want, and then all you get then, it is about the money. Like, you'd be lying if you say you didn't want to make more money, because you do.
No, yeah.
But you want to do it doing something that you love. And, I think
it's on the scoreboard. Like, you're playing a sport, you're wanting to win, you're wanting to put on a show for fans, you want to feel good. And the more points you score, the better you feel. A win is a win, but win with more points is better. And inherently we're competitors, so we want to have more points on the board. And that's what money is. It definitely becomes something that doesn't matter as much when you've got it and you start to realize that it doesn't matter. It matters to a point, but it's not about the money past that. We use it as a way of measuring things. We talk about 7 figures, 8 figures, but it's really just a way of measuring. And I can always tell with someone who's had solid business coaching, because we're so easy to share the numbers. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, because it's not that important. It's just part of the story. And it's also, who am I impacting and how am I growing and how am I progressing? And I want to get to 8 figures because I'm progressing and I feel good about that, rather than just, can I make more money? And interestingly, a lot of people that I talk to, the ones who are doing less, they're not at the same philosophy. I think my video stopped. They're not at the same philosophy with, yes, it's about money, but it's not really. Like, yeah.
Like Vic, I was talking in the car today, and I won't talk about this new thing that we're going into, but she was saying, it'd be great, Kitty, when we, can say we get to this amount per month. Let's start, we can start putting money into a charity that we really believe in, something that aligns with what we do, like, helping battered women or like eating disorders, and earning more money allows you to do that.
Yeah. You can give back more because you're growing more.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So I've got last question for you. You've got 60 seconds. If there's one thing that health care business owners could do this week to help them grow their businesses, what would it be and why?
Oh, look, I just think if you don't have a mentor or a business coach, get one. Yeah. Like if you truly want to, like when we were in our gym, our very first business coach we hired, it cost us more per week than I was paying us. Like, I was like, I don't know how we're going to do this, like how we'll afford to do it, because the gym was not making money. But we were like, we knew we needed to do something and we didn't know how to get there. So we invested and it was awesome. We grew quickly and we were forced to do it too. Because we're investing all this money. So we're really committed to doing it. So I think if you really do want to grow, invest in a good coach. Find someone. I always think find someone who's got the results that you want and has been able to replicate that for other people as well, and someone who has integrity and practices what they preach. Because I just look at all the other people that we started with back then and none of them are where we are because we've continued to invest in coaching, and it's just way more fun and you learn.
100%. I agree. Definitely agree. So where can our audience find you online? Where can they connect with you?
So our website is www.newstrength, so it's spelled NUSTRENGTH.com.au, and then our Instagram is my name, Kitty, KITTY, Blomfield, but it's spelled BLOMFIELD. And we've got a YouTube channel, but if you go to our website, you can see our YouTube channel, and we've got a podcast, and it's all there. So go to the website.
I'll make sure that all the links are in the description as well, so people can check that out. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I think it was really insightful, and there's a lot of value shared. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to the show. If you like the episode, please hit subscribe and leave us a review. I'd really appreciate it as it helps us get our episodes out to more people just like you who want to know how to increase their revenue, impact more people, and build businesses that work for the lifestyle they want. Now, I know your time is valuable, and I know that you are here to learn the secrets to success in your health business, so I have something special for you just for checking out the episode. Now, if you're a health professional, coach, or trainer in business, and you're serious about growing a profitable, impactful business, then pay attention, because as a listener of the show, I want you to win. And so I've created a host of resources available exclusively for listeners of the show. So if you're tired of trying to figure out this game of business, marketing, and sales all on your own, and you're ready to just implement what's already proven to work rather than reinventing the wheel, I want you right now to go and check out healthcarebusinesssecrets.com/insider, and there you'll find over $5,000 worth of trainings, resources, and coaching available only for listeners of the show. There I'll give you the resources on everything from how to acquire 10 times more of your ideal clients using social media and paid ads, even referrals, how to increase your client conversion into packages at an 80 to 90% conversion rate like me, how to retain your clients for longer, getting them better results and making them happier, how to increase your prices and charge a premium to work with you, and how you can build a 6, multi-6, even 7-figure practice just like I did but with 1/10 of the time and 1/10 of the effort. What I want you to realize is that everything I teach comes from exactly what I did to have success and still have success in my own health business, and I want to share that with you so you can have success too. So go check out healthcarebusinesssecrets.com/insider right now and let me help you win big in your health business. Also remember to subscribe for 2 episodes every week full of the secrets to have success in your health business, as well as leave us a review so we know what you thought of the show. And I'll see you on the next episode.